Hey there, give me 5 minutes and I'll tell you about an epic experience I had this weekend. Yep, I'm talking about EPiC, Elvis Presley in concert that we saw at the Bob Bullock Museum IMAX Theater in Austin, Texas. And man, what a treat. I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. I didn't quite know if I was going to be disappointed or impressed, and color me impressed. I loved it. The size of the image in the IMAX theater is impressive. First IMAX show I've ever been to. I was a little underwhelmed by the sound. I thought it would be even louder and better in IMAX. My family tells me that my hearing's going because it was plenty loud enough, but to me it could have been louder. But the quality of the sound was impressive, as was the quality of the image. I've seen most of the footage before, not some of the angles, but the way it was edited together was fantastic. And as the director, Baz Luhrmann gets the credit, but his editing team, oh boy, should they be winning some awards come award season next year, as well as some technical awards should go to them for film restoration and sound restoration for the work they did on this footage. Because oh man, here's a little screenshot I took just with my phone. One shot to get to memorialize the day, not to take a bunch of pictures, but even that's pretty incredible. Look how tall Elvis looks and how skinny he was back in, what is that, 69 or 70? And how tall was Elvis? Do you know how tall Elvis was? Put it in the comments if you do, because he looks really tall there. I was listening to a B.B. King interview recently, and he talked about Elvis as a young boy when he met him, and he was talking about him. He said, well, he was tall, he was good looking, and he had talent, and I didn't think that much of him at first, said B.B. King, but after a while I saw he was going to be something special. But it struck me that he talked about how tall he was, even when he was a kid. I think he was about 6 feet tall. Is that right, or was there a different height? Well, anyway, go see IMAX, or if you can see it in IMAX or a regular theater. I think it'll be just as great in a regular theater. Just sit where you can see the whole screen and take in all the images. It will be great. I asked my wife Jane, who's an Elvis fan too. I brought her along with me over the past 50 years, and she's an Elvis fan, but I asked her what her takeaways from the film were, and she said three things basically: the rehearsal footage, which she was really impressed by, not only by Elvis and the quality of his voice and the work he put in rehearsals, but also his band. She thought the band was fantastic. As a side note, my son went too, and he thought it was great, and he zeroed in on Jerry Scheff on bass as a musician that he thought was particularly outstanding. And that's not surprising, because Jerry Scheff is one of the greatest bass players that's been in rock music, and he's played for not only Elvis but many other greats. So, of course, James Burton on lead guitar is one of the greatest guitarists of all time, in my opinion, and a lot of people agree with that. Glenn D. Harden on piano, Ronnie Tutt on drums, and John Wilkinson on rhythm guitar. John Wilkinson, as a side note, you should look for a video with John Wilkinson, an interview with him on YouTube, because he has some fun things to say about when he met Elvis, when Elvis was a young kid, and John Wilkinson, told Elvis he couldn't play guitar worth a damn. And later Elvis told him, I still can't play guitar worth a damn. So that's kind of funny, but not part of the movie. But Elvis EPiC was fantastic. So if you're an Elvis fan, you'll really enjoy it. If you're on the fence, I think you'll enjoy it maybe even more. There is a spoiler, and I'll give you that. Did I finish all with Jane's? Oh, Jane, let's see, the rehearsal, the quality of Elvis's voice, and the fact that he loved to perform and insisted, he said over and over again, that he always told his people and his crew and the band, these people have never seen the show before, or a lot of them haven't, so we have to do this show like it's the first time. That's the old actors as if it's your first time, and he bought into that big time, and she was really impressed by that. The quality of his voice, the work he put in rehearsal, and his love of performing really struck home. There was one thing that I had not expected to hear. I've never heard it before from Elvis, and this will be my spoiler, if you can have a spoiler for someone who's been deceased for 50 years. I knew that I heard him singing in the background, not as a featured song, but I Shall Be Released, the spiritual hymn that's most often associated with the civil rights movement. And I thought, I remember hearing that, and I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. I hope they'll do the whole number, but they didn't. It was just a snippet. I Google searched it, and Google said, no, that's not one of the songs in the song list. And they're right, but I went to Perplexity, and Perplexity had this to say about I Shall Be Released. It says, you're remembering it correctly. You heard I Shall Be Released in EPiC, but it's used only as a brief rehearsal fragment in the sound design, which is why it doesn't show up in the main song list. A write-up on the film notes that some of the more subtle sonic blending, quote unquote, in EPiC uses rehearsal snippets during montages, specifically mentioning I Shall Be Released as one of those background fragments, not as a full performance. So you're not wrong. You did hear Elvis briefly singing I Shall Be Released, but only as a tucked away rehearsal ambient piece rather than as a credited spiritual on the soundtrack. I knew I heard it, and I really loved it. Okay, Baz, here's your next assignment. Get us a video. Get us a video of Elvis sitting at the piano playing and singing I Shall Be Rehearsed. I think that would be epic all on its own. So I got this shot. I think I showed that already. And boy, what a performance. I think you'll really love it. Now, that's my take on EPiC. I hope you'll go see it. It's I understand it made a little over $3 million maybe over the weekend. Not much, but for a quote-unquote documentary or concert-type film, that's not bad. And it's not in wide release yet, only in about 300 theaters. So that's, what, $10,000 a screen or so. So not bad. Get out there and support this film. It is worth seeing. It's worth your time. You'll have a blast. EPiC. Elvis Presley in concert. God bless you all. Check out my YouTube channel at Tommy G. Kendrick. Like this video, subscribe, and follow me along on this journey. God bless you. Take care. See you in the movies.